So this Glock used to be everywhere. And now very few people even mention it. So this is the Glock 27 in Gen 5. And today we're going to be talking about maybe why it fell out of favor. And I don't think it, I think it just kind of moved back in the line. But I think it still has a place. It still has a place. And we're going to talk about that today. So the Glock 27 is at its core a subcompact Glock 23. It's got a shorter barrel, it's got a shorter grip, but ultimately, those two things, it's still chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson, but those two aspects kind of change everything about this pistol, right? So it's got a barrel length of 3.43 inches and it holds 9 rounds in its standard capacity, but you can put the Glock 23 magazines, you can put a Glock 22 magazines in here. Um, so the width on this bad boy is 1.26 inches and it weighs 21.9 ounces unloaded. For me, if you watch this channel, I had the pinky extension and these subcompact Glocks. They fit perfectly for me. They they actually uh, very comfortable for me to shoot, especially in 40. Also like the 30S, you can watch that video. Shoots very comfortably. And on paper, these comparing this to the 26, they're almost identical to the Glock 26, the 9mm version of this, almost identical. It's a little thicker. Some of the holsters don't necessarily fit the Gen 5 26 and 27, but in the hand, they just feel very different. They just feel more pistol, more. There's just more. So at one point, the 40 Smith and Wesson uh, caliber what was king. Government agencies wanted more energy than the 9mm, and Glock responded. The Glock 27 gave you a duty caliber power with this compact frame. Now, and for a long time, um, that mattered. That mattered. It does so many things well. It's got the heavier projectile in the 40. It's 40 uh, open to its criticism. It's a proven duty caliber, has a tremendous history, and it gives you that familiar Glock reliability. And for shooters who trust 40, like myself, um, that checks all the boxes. And Glock built this pistol to handle that pressure, to handle that extra pressure from the expectations as well as the 40 caliber uh, round. Now, all of that, there's where the Glock 27 kind of struggles, right? It's going to it's for some it has a sharper recoil because of the shorter frame. There may be some slower follow up shots, and for many shooters, that's kind of what they a big issue or concern, and it's definitely less forgiving than 9mm. But I shoot this almost more accurately, if not I do shoot this, I believe, more accurately and more comfortably than I shoot the 26 because it is a bigger round. But these aren't flaws. I mean, this is basic physics. And if I think a lot of that has caused a lot of those opinions on the Glock 27 that are out there are so divided depending on how you handle and look at the 40 caliber round, right? So if you put this next to a Glock 26, which got some The temperature got a little bit warmer when I compared uh, in a non-comparison video to other Glocks. But I'm not going to bring out the Glock 26. But if you put this next to a Glock 26, the differences are immediate. I mean, if you feel them, they're the same size, very close in the Gen 5, and they have the kind of the same ergonomics, but it is a very different shooting experience. The 26 is just kind of crazy all over the place. I just chews up the 9 millimeter rounds, where um, the 40, there's a little bit of pressure in between. You're shooting a pistol. Not that the 9 millimeter is a 22 round, but you definitely feel that extra jolt, and it's not. I don't want to say it's hard on recoil. I'm not recoil sensitive, so I can't speak to that. But it's definitely there's more of a deliberate um action when you're firing a 40 caliber, especially in the 27 um, subcompact frame or footprint, right? So, who is this gun really for? Well, if you're an experienced shooter, if you're comfortable with recoil or not recoil sensitive, and you prefer 40 caliber, well, this makes still makes sense in today's day and age. I mean, I have there's a you can see the video of the Smith and Wesson 2.0 Performance Center in 40, and this just I mean this holds more rounds. It's a smoother shooter, um, more it's definitely flatter than like let's say a Smith and Wesson in this similar caliber, and it's just if you're looking for something where you want speed, you want soft shooting, there's going to be better options out there, and the Glock 27 isn't bad. It's just demanding of your attention. I mean, you've got to pay attention to the Glock 27 or any 40 in this size when you're out there in the range or wherever you may be, and it requires some practice to get comfortable with for those follow-up shots to be aligned. So popularity doesn't always equal capability, right? And understanding the trade-offs, I think, matter more than whatever the trends are. So there's a lot of reviews on this pistol. Mr. Hickok 45, uh, there's quite a few videos where he really enjoys the Glock 27. It's one of his favorite pistols, if I'm not mistaken. And um, there's quite a few other YouTubers out there that I've watched and enjoyed that really love this Glock 27 and 40. Um, it is what it is, right? I mean, don't want to be a cliche, but it's a 40 caliber pistol that you can carry, shoots well. I've got the 3-dot sights, which I put on all of my Glocks, and I know that's one of those things, but I think Glock is at the point where, hey, we know you're going to change your sights out, so we're not going to put anything expensive on there, because if we do, you're just going to change them out anyway, and maybe it makes the pistols cheaper for us. Who knows? But understanding those trade offs too kind of matter just a little bit, right? So yeah, uh, that's that's it. I mean, not a whole lot that hasn't already been said, right? On the Glock 27, um, the Gen 5, great. I know there's also you got the different gens, and I picked up a Glock 27 in Gen 3, and it had the finger grooves, which don't bother me, but that felt really nice too. And um, I don't really get the slide bite, but you can put the back straps on here, and you can get your little extended beaver tail with a little bit deeper grip. But this just fits perfect for me. So I also I think this one too. I have the Glock. I think it's an enhanced trigger. It's not the performance trigger, but it's basically the polished uh, Um, the trigger is uh, cut down here in the dingus, so this is a more smooth pull, which I do that on every Glock. I used to do that all the time, but now I buy them from the Glock store because they do it for me, and it wasn't too much more than just swapping out the trigger, right? But if you have the time and you want to polish the trigger bar, and you want to do all that inside, make it a nice smooth pull. But this pull on these, I mean, for carry guns, you don't really want um, it's all clear, by the way. None of all these pistols are always clear when you see them in the video, but they they has a nice wall and then a break, and it's that got the nice reset. A little longer than a CZ, but still a nice tactical and audio reset there. And there's your Glock 27 Gen 5, right? That's it. So, Glockaholic 76, talk to you soon.